Today in our 2018 Nissan Frontier, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Truxedo Truxport soft roll-up tonneau cover. This soft roll-up cover is going to protect your truck bed and any cargo inside from the elements, while the vinyl cover is going to give your truck a nice sleek look. It's very easy to operate. You just got to open up the tailgate, and then we just pull the latches that are on both sides of the cover, and then we can roll it up. When you have it completely rolled up, it gives you full truck bed access, and you can travel with it down the road this way by taking these straps, stretching it over, and using the hooks into the loops on the other side. The hook and loop strips that are on both sides of the side rails are going to help keep out any of that water, dirt, and debris that you may encounter. It's an easy no-drill installation. It uses 6 of these over-the-top clamps. Rather than hooking on to the side of your truck bed rail right here, it comes over top and squeezes it down on top of the truck bed rail, and that's going to help keep your rails level. When you're ready to roll it back up, it's an easy one-man job. You can just stand on one side, you can roll it up, and it includes 3 of these crossbars to help support the cover while it's closed. Then when you get it all the way to the tailgate, you can see it latches in right there, and just with a little bit of force, it closes. The weather seal on the back of the cover near the tailgate is going to help keep out water, dirt, and debris. Now that we've gone over some of those features, let's show you how easy it is to get installed. The first thing we got to do is install our cab seal and our bulkhead seal. Our cab seal is going to sit on this vertical part right here of our bulkhead, while the bulkhead seal is going to sit right on top just like that. Now how you know the difference is the bulkhead seal is going to be wrapped up like this, while the cab seal is just going to be sitting in the box flat. We'll go ahead and start with the cab seal. They're both going to install the same way. Before you install them, you want to make sure you thoroughly clean the surface with some soap and water, and then take some isopropyl alcohol, get the rest of the contents off, and that'll help the adhesive stick a lot better. So we're just going to peel a little bit of the backing off to start. We want to get it flush with the top of the bulkhead. So we're going to press it up against the side rail and then apply some pressure to get it to stick. You want to take your time with this so you can make sure you get it as straight as possible and as flush as possible with the top of the bulkhead. Now when you get to the end, if you do have any excess, you can go ahead and just take some scissors or a knife, anything like that, just cut it off. You want to make sure you leave enough though to where it can press up against the cab, the side rail. It doesn't hurt to just kind of just shove it in, compress it a bit. There you go. And once you've got that, just go back around all along the seal and make sure that it's sticking properly and you don't have any bad spots. Now, as I said before, the bulkhead seal will be sitting on top of the bulkhead, but we're going to apply the adhesive part on the underside of the front header of our cover. You can see there's already a factory seal here, and per our instructions, we're going to apply it on top. So you're going to have a double layer. It applies the same way. We're just going to take the adhesive part, which is actually sticking right here, and we're just going to line it up. It's actually a little bit easier this way because then you can just follow the factory seal so you get a nice straight one. Just run your fingers along the sides to make sure it stays on. And like I said before, just take a pair of scissors or a knife and cut off the excess. And then all you have to do is peel off this white backing that's on your seal. Don't worry, this part's not adhesive. It's just going to be sitting on top of our bulkhead. Now we're going to install the weather seals on the cab end corners of our side rails. Now you can see that this weather strip right here comes over the corner. So what you need to do is peel it back a bit and cut off the excess so that this whole corner is showing. And you want to do that for both side rails. There we go. Once you've done that, I'm just going to peel one of these off. You want to peel the ones that kind of have this little half circle cut out. And it's going to be placed right on that corner. And do the same thing for the other side rail. Now we're going to put our cover on top of the bulkhead. You want to make sure that you get the seal sitting on top of the bulkhead. Then once you get that, we're just going to lean it up towards the cab. Now we installed the passenger side rail. I'll show you how to get the driver one in place. It's going to sit directly on top of our truck bed side rail, and this little plastic piece right here is going to feed into this metal bracket right there. So you're going to have to lift up the cover, and we're just going to pull it up here and just feed it in. There we go. And then just set the back on the bulkhead. Now we're going to take two of our clamps and loosely install them on the rear. We already did the driver's side, we'll go ahead and do the passenger side. This little piece goes up the bottom right there. You want to make sure you get it on a flat surface on the underside of the rail. And this top part sits where the little grooves are on the side rail. And then the little bolt feeds through. Just begin threading it. And like I said, just get it hand tight for now, and we'll come back and tighten it later. Now just come up to your cover and make sure you have it centered on your truck bed. Now we're going to install our front clamps. They put on the exact same way as the rear ones. We're going to take the bottom part, put it up on from the underside, make sure you find a flat surface to put it on. Then take the top part, go ahead and thread on the bolt. Once you get it threaded on, make sure you get the teeth on the top part of our clamp to line up with the grooves on the top part of our side rail. And then just hand tighten it as far as you can. Once you get it as far as you can with your hands, you can grab a 1/2 inch socket or wrench and tighten down the rest of the way. You want to make sure you don't over tighten it at all, just get it pretty snug. And then repeat this process for the other side. Now that we have the front ones tightened down, we're going to come back to the rear and tighten these. Now before we do, we want to make sure that the rear is in line with the front. So I took a tape measure and I measured from the side rail to the other side rail and made sure that the measurement at the front was the same measurement at the back. Once you do that, you can go ahead and tighten them down all the way. Now we're just going to install the center clamps, which install the same way as the front and the rear. One thing you do want to make sure of is that once you get it loosely installed with your hands, we're going to roll out the cover just a little bit to make sure that the cross beams on the cover don't interfere with the clamps. We see it made a little bit of contact, so we're just going to scoot the clamp over a little bit, like that. There we go. Now we'll roll it back up, and then we'll take our 1/2 inch socket or wrench and tighten it up the rest of the way. Now we're just going to roll out the cover, make sure everything fits right. When closing it, remember, get that center bar right there, pull it down. Everything seems to fit right, so we're going to open it back up to do one last step. Now we're going to place our final 2 weather seals on the corners of the tailgate side of our cover. Fits perfectly on, just like that. Just compress it a bit, make sure the adhesive sticks, then repeat this process for the other side. Now we're going to shut the cover back up, and then we're going to go around and re-secure all of our hook and loop pads to make sure we take all of the loose ends out of the cover. From there, just close your tailgate and you're ready to hit the road. That's going to do it for our look at the Truxedo Truxport soft roll-up tonneau cover on our 2018 Nissan Frontier.